Want to get back to that breaking news out of Charlotte right now, the Ballantyne neighborhood.
Let's get us straight out to the press conference happening live.
That we'll watch the incident scene overnight. It's going to be an ongoing investigation, and that'll go into the unforeseen future. So I'll take questions at this point.
Can you tell us at this point where in the house, and I know it's probably hard to tell, but where approximately was she located?
So we located her on information that we received from the family as well as from the first victim.
What's the relation between the first and the second victim?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Oh, was she in the basement of the home?
There's really no way to differentiate the levels of the home. Based on the schematics that were provided by the family, I'll just say that she was in the downstairs area. I can't specify where inside the structure she was at.
Can you say if the caller provided any hint as to the sequence of events prior to the explosion, or what might have triggered it or anything like that?
The caller did provide some helpful information to locate himself, as well as information that we were able to use to locate the second victim.
Did he say what triggered it when the explosion happened?
No, he did not.
Sorry if someone asked this. Can you confirm that the victim is a resident of the home?
I'm not going to confirm it right now because of the death investigation that's going on. We don't want to put anything out there that would jeopardize the investigation.
What's the relation of the two victims?
I'm not going to answer that question either.
Any
Did you
word
say
on
if
what
they
caused
just
this?
returned from vacation?
I've not heard that, and I've talked to members of the family, so I don't have firsthand knowledge of that.
Any word on what caused this yet?
No, that'll be part of the investigation, and the results of that will probably be we'll find those out in some time.
We know there is a whole lot of cleanup, and I know these things can take a while, but any sort of rough timetable on when you think you might be getting closer to the cause of the explosion?
No, I don't. The investigators won't give us a time frame. We don't want to rush that process. We want to make sure that everything that we communicate to the news agencies, that we don't do anything that jeopardizes that investigation.
Are you confident that there's no one else at risk now, no one else that could potentially be underneath that pile?
And the information that we've been provided, we are confident that we have retrieved all those that were involved in the incident.
At what point in the day were you able to find her? Did it have to take, going through a lot of debris, or was it fairly early on?
No, it was a difficult process to locate her. So the incident came in just before 2 o'clock, and I would say that we located the victim around, it's 10 o'clock now, so I would say closer to 9 o'clock.
Were you guys holding out hope up until you found the body that she might be alive?
So like I stressed in the last update that we did, it's important that we actually put eyes on the void areas inside the structure. It's a very methodical process. We have to get in there just to confirm. We are always hopeful, whether it's a building collapse, whether it's a fire, that we will be able to intervene and be able to make a difference. Unfortunately, that did not happen today.
Was there anything that gave you any hopeful signs of life at all throughout any of this?
So I would go based on the level of destruction of the property and the fact that we were able to have one victim that did survive. I think that encourages all our responders. It gives the motivation to continue to operate even when you're dealing with temperatures in the upper 90s. So to say that we're holding out hope or encouraged, every time we go to an incident, it's never the same thing. So until we can get to the finality or the end of the incident, we're always looking on the positive side.
Do you have an update on the latest condition of the male victim?
I do not. You would have to get that from either Atrium or from Medic.
Can you speak to just the moments when your firefighters discovered that the man who is being treated for life-threatening injuries? I mean, in that big of a pile, to still find someone with someone of life, he's still alive. I mean, that had to just be a crazy moment. Have you talked to the men or women who actually discovered that person?
I've not talked to them personally, no. I do know that that's what continues to drive our firefighters to continue to do the job they do at the best of their ability day in and day out. So you know, that's every time we have a positive outcome, that just drives that motivation that much harder.
You know if the male victim was positive that there was a female in the home as well, or he wasn't sure?
All the indications, the indications that we got at the beginning of the instance, that it never changed. So, you know, we were confident. We were confident that we knew how many victims that we were going to have once we got there, and also exactly who and the areas that we needed to prioritize to do our searches.
Were there any first responders injured?
We did have 7 firefighters that were treated for dehydration. I am not aware if any of those were transported.
Have you guys heard anything else from Piedmont Natural Gas regarding the neighborhood or any testing, checking they'll be doing?
Not outside of just ensuring that the area was safe. So, you know, the neighborhood, the other residents that are here have there's nothing to be concerned about, and that's what, you know, what they need to do, and Piedmont can answer more specifically some of the stuff that they do to ensure that. All right, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good night. Thank you.
All right, so we learned a few key things there, the most important of which obviously the fact that this is now a fatal home explosion. 2 victims. There's a man who is still in the hospital. There is a female who was discovered many, many hours after the blast. That person has died.
Yeah, fire officials there telling us the blast happened around 2 o'clock in the Ballantyne area, just south of Charlotte. It's a very affluent neighborhood in that community. Firefighters responded to the scene, nearly 90 of them out there, and 7 of them had to be treated for dehydration. IVs out there on the scene. We're going to continue to update you and bring you more information as we do get it, but as of right now, their investigation has concluded in terms of a search for any other possible victims. As Kenny just mentioned, 1 fatality, a female, a male was pulled out of the rubble from the home, a very large home, over 8,000 square feet. So it was very methodical for them to try to get in there and locate these victims, one of which, the male, called 911 to tell them exactly where he was.
Yeah, that's a remarkable part of the story. The big question at this hour, what caused this? There is speculation, maybe it's natural gas, who knows? They wouldn't pin that down on anything at this hour, so that remains the big question at this point. We'll stay on top of this developing news story. Download the free WXII 12 News mobile app. We'll send you a push alert with breaking details on this and other big stories happening in our community and in our state.